Today's 709 day that I'm here to share lessons I learn. I'm learning. I hope this will support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today I want to speak about family and of course support in the family. Sometimes we do not understand what is healthy support and what is unhealthy support. So today we'll share 10 things that you are able to understand when something in family is unhealthy, especially in support. Yesterday, I was sharing 10 ways that we're able to support our family. So today we'll share 10 things that people do that is very unhealthy support. Because sometimes people want to support, but just they do not understand that the way they support is very unhealthy. So let's get started. The first one is enabling destructive behavior. Enabling destructive behavior. So that means sometimes people do bad things. Your family member is do bad things and you minimizing them. They say like, oh, like a person is drinking every single day. Oh, it's just a little bit, just a one beer. That's not much. Or that's just one thing. Or they don't show up in some kind of important event. So, oh, it's just one time. Not just as minimizing. Or there's a lot of behaviors that people distract themselves and they allow them. Or people are even lying for their family member. So enabling destructive behavior. If someone is doing something bad, we need to make sure that they are aware of that we understand that it is not okay, and not minimizing that. That means we're able to share exactly how we feel about their station and where they go. Now, of course, we need to be supportive and understand their feelings as well, but at the same time, not enabling that bad behavior altogether. Number 2 is overprotectiveness. Overprotectiveness. That means that a lot of times, especially parents wanted to protect their kids. They want them to really live a stress-free life. But I'm a huge believer that if you're trying to overprotect and protect your kids and make it stress-free, they will never build that skin, that mental toughness, resilience that is essential to succeed in life. So even though you're trying to protect your kid, you will hurt your kid. Exactly in every single person in the family doesn't need to overprotect. You need to understand, okay, how much they're able to handle. And that is awareness is very important. Okay, how I'm able to support, but not jump in and really protect that other person. You need to be more like a safety net rather than jumping in and helping them. Number 3 is conditional love. Conditional love. Because people say, oh, I will support you if you will pursue this one. But if you pursue something else, I will not support you. I will walk away. I will not get my respect. You will not get my trust. You will not get my love. You will not get anything. And that is conditional love. And that is very sacramental because people really try to get that conditional love. They want to have that love. They want to have information. They want to have that encouragement. And that's why they pursue the career paths. The things that they do that is detrimental for their own future. And a lot of times people realize after 10 years, 20 years, but they wasted so much time. So unconditional love is very bad for support. People believe that they're supporting and they believe that they are pushing person in a good way, but that is not the best way to really help somebody to choose the best path. Number 4 is intrusiveness. That means that some people really want you to include themselves in every decision, every situation in life. So that means if you want to support someone, you don't need to include yourself in every problem solving, if any decision. And if they don't feel that thing they included in decision making, they are shouting, I need to be included, I am very important. No, like family, every single family member is adult majority of times. They are able to make decisions by themselves. This is their life. Who is living their life? They living their life. So that means that we're not supposed to include ourselves in other people's decision making unless they ask for it, unless they need to. So. And why? Like I think a lot of times people believe that their way is the best way. But do you understand other person's goals, vision, purpose? And maybe it's totally different than yours. And knowing that sometimes even though that your decision-making process is the best in your path, different path requires different decision-making process. That's why we need to be very careful to include ourselves in that decision-making process. Number 5 is manipulation. That is very unhealthy support. People manipulate other people to make decisions that they feel will be beneficial for them. But a lot of times, those manipulations, sooner or later, goes backwards. Because if you teach someone to manipulate, that means that it will manipulate back to you. And I think that manipulation is very, very, very unhealthy. And sometimes it's very hard to really see manipulation, because manipulation sometimes is hide through smiles, is hide through good intentions, but bad actions. Sometimes it's hidden by nice words, affirmations, encouragement. So it means we need to be sometimes very careful and really understand the intention. What's the intention behind that manipulation and action and that thought? Number 6 is competitiveness. That means in a family, it's sometimes could be beneficial to be competitive for game purposes, but competitiveness in family sometimes could lead to very bad outcomes, because you are not as supportive. Family is supposed to be a support unit, not competition unit. So it means you're able to bring that family together and compete something with other families. If that's some kind of game, are you able to compete with something that you're able to in their career path and help your family member to compete in the career, but not inside a family. There's also competition, unless for the game. Family is supposed to be a support unit, not competition unit. Number 7 is scapegoating. That means a lot of times people want to blame someone else, and they start to blame their own family member. We have a tendency to blame others. And it's very bad when we start blaming each other, and especially in family unit. And once we start blaming one family unit as especially wrong, so it means that family, there is some kind of misconnection. That means there is no connection in that family anymore. So when people start blaming each other, connection disappears. And there's a huge gap between every single person in that family. And at that moment, there's yelling, shouting, and all other miscommunication happens. So blaming is one of the things that really disconnects people, and people really start acting not in a certain way that really helps to build the family unit all in general. Number 8 is lack of empathy. That is, of course, unhealthy support of your family. We need to understand each other. We need to hear. We need to listen to really understand where every single person is coming from. And being aware of other person's emotions and feelings in the family is essential to really make better choices. You're able to choose better words, better questions to help that person, family member, to get out of their situation. I love that majority of times you don't need to know what to say. You don't need to know what kind of questions to ask. You don't need to be a problem solver. You just need to be there. You need to be there to just show that I'm there to support you, and I will be sitting beside you until you figure out what you need to do. That's just much more powerful, and really you're able to bring that empathy in the relations in general. Number 9 is inconsistent support. It's a very interesting topic, inconsistent support. That means one day your family member will be there to help you out, other day he will not show up. One day he will be there to help you out, other day will not show up. So that means that it creates a lot of insecurity. It destroys trust, and you really don't know if you're supposed to trust that family member, if they will be there to support you or not. Are they care about your success or not? So that means that if you really want to commit to something, you need to commit for a month, 2 months. Like it depends how long you don't want to support, and really be clear how long and how much you will be able to support. Because when you commit to something, when you commit to anything, we need to say that those boundaries, how much you'll be able to support, and really follows those rules. Otherwise, people start to lose connection in the family as well if we do not do the things that we said that we'll do. So that means promise. It's very important. Say-do ratio is very, very important. Otherwise, there is no trust in the family unit in general. Number 10 is sabotage. Sabotage. So that means we need to understand that jealousy is a terrible thing in the family. So when we want support, we when you have jealousy, it's very hard to support somebody. So that means a lot of times when you, as a family unit, if you see that someone else is succeeding, and or anyone else, what we need to do, we need to uplift even higher. And the more you uplift, the more you lift yourself as well. But sometimes I know that jealousy could lead to really put someone else down, sabotage, lies, and maybe something, maybe not give support that they need to sabotage their success. Maybe you see that they feel super excited about their new career path, about something that they pursue, and now someone else will say it's not that good, or maybe you're not ready, or will create some kind of discouragement to sabotage that pursuit of new career path. So it means we need to understand that sabotage and discouragement and really asking questions and negative talk is one of a lot of things that is part of sabotage. And if you see that someone has those unhealthy support ways of doing things, we need to really walk away, especially when you're trying something new, when you're beginning something new, when you start a new journey. We need to walk away until you really have that huge momentum going, and then you're able to come back. And then you're able to really be back in that community, that part of family, because now they see that you are different. Now they're not able to pull you back. So a lot of times when you see unhealthy support, we need to have very strong boundaries. And I always say that you need to share how you feel. And if they are able to hear and they really address what you said, that means that you're able to really work through all the misconnections with the family. But if you're not able to understand, and if they don't want to understand, and they don't listen, walk away, build yourself up, come back, and build your family as well. Because they will be able to see how much you changed. And because you changed, they will be inspired to change as well. So I hope that there's a lot of lessons that you were able to take out of today, because unhealthy support is one thing that we need to understand, be aware, and then build boundaries around those, that we do not allow those unhealthy things to come in our lives. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.